Today on the 5-Minute Book Review starring Curtis and Ian, we take a look at Oz, Inside These Walls by Augustus Hill. But here's the catch, Oz is actually a TV show. That's right, Oz was HBO's first ever 1-hour drama. That's right, even before The Sopranos, do your homework. And here's the second catch, Augustus Hill was one of the characters on Oz. So what's the deal with this book? Well, instead of just releasing an episode guide, HBO decided to release it as the diary of one of the main characters. Kind of a cool idea. So to reiterate, this book is actually the diary of character Augustus Hill, who takes you through the first 5 seasons of HBO's Oz. Coin toss to start, and Curtis is the winner.
You're watching the 5-Minute Book Review starring Curtis and Ian, and this week, it's the look at Oz, HBO's hit show. This is Oz, Behind These Walls, the Journal of Augustus Hill. Now, what you might recognize right off the top is that Augustus Hill is one of the characters, so we're really blurring the lines of books on this week's book review, because this is a book, it's basically a companion to the TV show, but Oz is so underrepresented. What am I trying to say? I don't know. Anyway. Nobody knows about this show. It was HBO's first long-running prison drama, and it's fantastic. If it's a little too hardcore for you, like it is most people, highly recommend sitting down with the book. It's almost like an episode guide, but they've really done a good story of having characters tell the story around what's going on, and it's through the eyes of the guy who's kind of the announcer. He takes you through each episode when you actually watch it on the show, so this is kind of his thoughts in book form, takes you through all the seasons, yet it's a story. Crazy times, Ian.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of the TV show. I watched some episodes, I liked it. But you know what? This book was really cool. I like when they take a book like this and use it as a way to sort of build around the world. You learn about Oz, and you get a little bit more in-depth look at the world because of this book, and that's really cool. I gotta admit, I quite enjoyed it. I don't know enough of the details about the show well enough to read it and say, okay, this is cool, I've learned this, but at the same time, as I'm going through it, I'm sitting there, I'm enjoying it, and you know what? It was a pretty damn cool book, I'm not gonna lie. If you're a fan of the show, I highly recommend this. I mean, it's obviously something that's going to rebuild and build this world further for you, especially with the show being done now. I mean, I don't know, I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic. I thought I learned a lot. The interesting thing I've always found about the show is just how, like you said, how graphic it can be, and I don't feel like that was lost in the book. Like, I feel it was still as impactful as the show always was.
The thing I really loved is it gives you a character guide in the back. The last 6 pages are just who played who, because to Oz's credit, other than maybe 2 or 3 characters, it was just a rotating cast. Pretty much anybody who you've ever seen on Law & Order has been on Oz, and that's what made the show so good, is that you didn't know when they were going to kill off major characters. It wasn't always like a season ender. There'd be season 3, episode 2, you'd lose one of the main characters, and it just always kept you guessing, and this helped keep it all in line, because you've watched a lot of TV at this point.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, that character guide at the back of the book was pretty huge, especially for someone like me. Watching the show, like you just said, you might lose some of the details in it, but for someone like me who hasn't seen every episode, it was interesting to read that and get an idea from that of what sort of the ongoing story was, what was happening with these different characters at different times, and just see honestly what the depth of the writing truly was. I gotta admit, it makes me want to go watch the rest of the series now.
But now you don't have to, because you've got it in book form. And I have to say, I'm not someone who watches different movies and stuff just because there's a certain actor on it. I'm not that guy. However, Christopher Maloney is the man. Make no mistake about it. After Oz and his cameos and his movies, and not so much Law & Order, but just everything he's done, he is the man. If you watch any scenes of Christopher Maloney in Oz,
Christopher Maloney in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Come on, he's awesome.
Yep.
He's always awesome. He's Christopher Maloney.
So many A-list characters and A-list actors went through the show. It's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling, Ian.
It is.
So you never watched? What are you doing?
I watched good portions of it. I watched a smattering of episodes. I haven't.
A smattering. That's a good word.
Dotty ones here and there, random ones from different seasons. So I don't
come in smatterings.
I didn't really feel like I knew the show, and now I know a bit more. I know enough about it now that I kind of actually want to go back and do want to sit down with the actual DVDs and watch the seasons.
There's only 56 episodes, Ian, so why don't you pop some popcorn? We'll make a weekend of it. Hey!
Sounds good.
All right. Definitely thumbs up. Again, if you've been turned off from the show because of its violence, sit down with it in book form. really good stories going through here.
It is.
And you don't have to put up with the horrible graphic images of murder.
Shankings.
Murder.
Shanking.
Shankings.
Yeah.
Did you know, Ian, you can take a spring from your cot and turn that into a knife?
I learned that.
It's called the
from
Don Juan.
Oz.
Yep.
Educational.